Like, what is it that Sharife Cooper hasn't done that I can say he should do to say he's done it all?
He won that championship. That was it.
Everything. He's done everything. He's scored a lot of assists.
The only thing that can cap off his career is becoming Mr. Basketball.
So why is it that when I watch Juwan Odom, did I feel like he's the best Every time I watch Juwan Odom play, I feel like I'm seeing something special. Like I'm seeing something that I'm not gonna maybe not see again. I said that for a long time. BJ Boston was my favorite high school player in Georgia. I don't get that feeling that I'm seeing something I'll never see again. Yo, it's the Love of the Game podcast. We're in the building this Thursday night. It's 8 o'clock, 8-ish. Y'all know what time it is. Y'all know how we give it up. Hey, man, the fellas is back. Hey, these are my favorite, bro. Like, this shit is my favorite. All the reasons why we're late, why we come on late, like, these are my favorite. Hey, like, they was on your head last week too, buddy, by the way.
Bro, I was getting stuff done on my car. But what it was talking about last week?
Why it was on his head last week?
This thing about you and BBWs is really picking up steam. I'm just gonna keep it real with you. It's led by Will Maddox in the comment section. I ain't gonna lie, but it's picking up steam, my guy. I'm not gonna lie.
What I said about BB? What I said something bad about BBW?
No, I don't know what you said, but for whatever reason, they feel like you have a BBW boo, and they really been pushing on that. That's what
I have a BBW what?
that
I have a BBW what?
A boo. Last week it was we was late because you was caked up on the phone with this BBW. I don't know who they're referencing, but they're really on your
man. Only thing, hey, I got to eat. I got to eat. Hey, literally, me and Bryce were just having this conversation, and when somebody said Metlock only trains and work out for meals, for cooked meals. That's when I work out.
How you doing a lot with the workouts and all that, man? Like you been getting the 5 a.m. and all that shit, bro. What's going on?
I've been laying Willie handling that, man. I've been going to work. Stuff been crazy at work. I haven't did any 5 a.m. workouts. My dude, shout out to Slow Grind, man. My dude Willie Evans been handling all that.
That's a fact. Bryce, what up, man? Out of school, it's over with. You done?
Yeah, we done, man. Had turned in my little sign-off sheet today. You know what I'm saying? You got to walk around everybody's office and get the signature. It's almost like you graduating college all over again. Make you tell your stuff to the media center.
Hey, Bryce, I got to put you on the spot early, man. I'm coming for you early.
What I do?
Will you be coaching in June? Word on the street.
Man, I'm
What's
sure.
happening?
Let me tell you something. Even
you hearing Paul's a lot. I might be on to some shit right now.
Even if I do make a return back to high school, you probably won't see me in June.
You only coaching the playoffs?
I mean, I just went on. I mean, we just went from March to May. You know what I'm saying? Like, not stop. Like, nah, you might have to catch me in August. You know what I'm saying?
Yo,
you gonna coach fall league?
I hate fall league.
I do too.
Oh, I like it.
That's just a waste of time to me.
I like the elite fall league that just happened.
Oh nah, the one at Lake Point, I can do that. That's legit.
It's competitive. Yeah, it's real basketball.
The rinky dink joints, like nah, I'm good on that shit.
Rinky dink.
See, I think certain fall leagues, when it's ran, because I went to a lot. I go to multiple fall leagues, not just ones here in Atlanta. So different fall leagues, some of those high school kids need those games because a lot of their players don't play AAU basketball. So some of those fall league games are very important.
My issue with fall league is I'm okay with fall league when actual guys that play for their school are playing. When I see those fall league games, when I see them fall league games, it's like, yo, none of these kids are gonna make the team. When I see those games, those are the fall league games I don't like. There's a bunch of football players out there fouling the shit out of people. Like, I don't like to watch that.
Hey man, you know, everybody wants to play basketball, man. You know that.
Yeah,
everybody wants to play basketball, man. Like I was literally discussing, you know, I might have a stepson soon, maybe. But I was but no, it's a joke. But now
we can welcome.
I was telling him like he plays football. We literally said that, you know, basketball players get the most girls because they don't wear helmets. You know, come on, you know, you could do like, come on.
Oh damn, your stepson old as shit.
Huh?
Your stepson old as shit, boy.
Is he in fifth grade?
I don't know what grade he's in.
Trying to see if I know him.
Him and Locke gonna be squared up in the backyard, boy.
Interesting. That's why he been so low key. Don't let him fool you.
Man,
I've been at work. I literally just told y'all what's going on with my job. I literally told you, Bryce, in the text message, and I told Dre like a week ago.
But you be missing parts of the story too. Sometimes you was at Willie house. Sometimes you had to get cooked food. That ain't the whole story.
I gotta eat. I can't eat.
But you make it seem like you working round the clock and eating.
I've been working. I'm a hard worker. Like, I've been busy so much. I haven't even been to the last On the Radar tournaments. I had graduation. I had 2 kids to graduate this past weekend. So shout out to Bam and Bubbles. Oh, I got, you know, my niece signed. She finally got to a college.
Where's she going?
You know, she's going to Chattanooga in Tennessee, or JUCO. You know, I'm trying to get her signing day, you know. Then Bryce, we still got to get, you know, maybe like 1 or 2 kids off the board that we're trying to get.
Well, yeah.
You know.
How's it going?
Yeah. I'm still trying to help, you know. I don't know.
Hey, let's talk about it because there's a lot of subjects around this time of year.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna put this out. Is a workout enterprise in Alabama for any unsigned seniors, any of y'all coaches, AAU coaches need. At 2:00 next Wednesday, Enterprise in Alabama is hosting the workout. He's looking for players.
Good stuff.
So
that's good information.
Check that out.
Let's talk about this though. Why? Because you just said a mouthful a lot. Number one, let's talk about why it's hard to get guys off the board right now.
The one you talking about a little different.
Man, it's hard right now. It's a ton of variables. A ton. Right now, you know, of course, the transfer portal.
Has it been harder this year for you guys? And you guys have had so much success. Has it been harder this year than it has in past years?
Definitely been some work. Yeah, it's been some work.
Very hard. It's almost June, and we still have kids on side. Like,
I think part of it is the kids at a certain point got to realize, like, damn, this is my options, and I got to take what I got, or I got to think about something else. And I think when the kids start to do that, then they start to, you know, find homes or find places to sign. And we had quite a few kids who were okay with what they got. You know what I mean? So it made it easy for us to get, like, 1 week we had a commitment every day. But those kids decided, like, man, I'm going to keep it moving. You know what I mean? So I think part of it is that having the kids that, like, are content with their next stop. And if you have kids that aren't, then you could be in a situation where you unsign in May or June. So,
yeah.
What do you say to those kids that aren't content? with what they have?
You know, with me, I'm kind of honest with them. I've always been honest, and I think that's why some people can handle me or they can't. You know what I mean? I tell them what it is, man. You probably, if you wait any longer, you're gonna be this. You know what I'm saying? That you're not gonna be playing, or you're gonna be playing here, or you're gonna be like. I try to tell them what it is, and you know, even I wish the group that we had last year during COVID, I wish they had the opportunity to play in live period because I know a lot of them would, you know, have more opportunities, been recruited, allowed to go on visits and things like that. But those kids, a lot of those kids, like, man, I'm cool with what I got. I'm gonna take it and I'm gonna keep it moving and I'm gonna try to make the most of it. It's gotta a lot of it's gotta be on the kid. You know what I mean?
Is accountability lacking in today's game? Y'all feel like
accountability on whose side?
From the players, parents, accountability to say, because you just said it's got to be on the kid. Is that type of accountability about whether or not a kid is playing at a certain level?
I mean, because we gotta be honest. Most of the kids who played in the last year and a half, a lot of them are not going to Division I because Division I coaches haven't been out. So, okay, well, this is what you have. You have D2. You have.
Are they truly playing Division I level basketball though?
Who?
A lot of these kids that still left. Do you feel like they're playing?
The ones that are left, maybe not. But I'm saying prior to this point, yeah, there probably were quite a few kids that played in April that were playing Division I basketball. They are not going Division I.
Okay.
And I think that you had to realize, like, man, I'm not probably going to go Division I right now. Let me try to just move up and find another home. And
yeah, I always say that may not be your last stop.
We had one guard this week. We had a guard this week get 2 offers from team camps, elite camps. I'll say
exactly. Yeah. One
2
from Albany State and one with
Reinhardt.
What about
Reinhardt
guys who don't go or who feel like these elite camps because they're not being recruited by these schools, that these open tryouts, that they shouldn't go to them?
I always say what you can always do. I always feel like it's always great to go to elite camp, especially if you're getting invited to one. But if you're not getting invited, you can create a buzz for yourself, and a coach can write your name down and keep tabs on you.
Mm-hmm. And
so you may have not received that offer right then and there, but he may recruit you throughout the season.
Yeah. And I think as things really start to open back up and we see things get back to normal with, you know, how we used to see the team camps at Georgia State and league camps here and there, I think it's important for parents and players to prioritize, you know, where you think you could be successful and where you think you could possibly get an offer from. You know what I mean? Like if I got 6 elite camp invites, well, obviously, you know, maybe it might be too much to go all of them, and maybe I need to focus on a certain level. So I think, as you know, like I said, as things open up, I think it's important to prioritize. Okay, you know, where should I go? What should I do? What's going to benefit me?
Exactly. Because I had a talk with a parent. They was like, "Well, we're gonna go to Florida State elite camp." And I honestly said, do you really see your son playing at Florida State in the next 2 years? Not saying he can't, but you want to go to Florida State, but then you don't want to go to the North Floridas or Kennesaw or Albany State camp where he may have a better chance at getting offers from those schools, because you got to think Florida State is looking for pros.
Yeah. That's ACC.
Yeah, so you know, you really have to and I think it's pretty hard for a lot of parents to really look at their child, because everybody wants the best for their child, but maybe the best is not for him going to Florida State though.
So Coach Huff says everybody wants to make an offer instead of allowing the coach to evaluate and build a relationship. Yes. So, but how long should the player and the parent should be waiting to build a relationship? I mean, how long do they need to wait? At the end of the day, right? Can they build a relationship after being offered?
It's a good question. I think coaches are on the clock a little bit, the same way that kids are on the clock. I mean, I'm seeing it now. I think I saw something posted where you get an offer and the coach is expecting an answer within 3 to 5 days. Max.
Where you see that? Where you saw that at?
I think I've seen it on Twitter.
That's
if kids, well, I mean, I had a kid that had his offer pulled in 8 days after being offered.
I think it depends on how many you have, how hot you are. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like,
I think in this climate, it makes it tough.
In this climate, yeah, you probably got 8 business, you got 7, 10 business days. In a normal climate, you probably if you're hot, you probably got some time.
What define?
But we're talking about seniors now. We're talking about seniors, not underclassmen, correct?
Yeah, we're talking about seniors.
Oh well, yeah, they don't have that much time because they're graduating and the coach is building their current class, so he don't have that kind of time to be waiting around for people. And he probably recruiting another guy coming in for the same year, so he's not gonna wait that long. You know what I mean? And especially if you're not that hot, like if you got one offer, maybe 2 or whatever, then yeah, he's probably not gonna wait more than 7, 8 days. I agree with that, especially at this late in the game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's late. It's June, but you know the great thing you have to love about basketball. It's always going to be opportunities because people are going to get new jobs. We got like Andrew College down there in South Georgia. They're getting a new coach. The old coach was only bringing back 4 players. So there's going to be roster spots. So there's going to be a ton of kids that are going to get picked up late in June or going into July.
Mm-hmm.
Have they filled that position yet, Locke?
Nope. We've been trying to figure out who's going to get it.
I've been trying to figure out too. I ain't heard a word.
Where is that school?
That's a tough job.
Yeah, I haven't heard a word.
You said it's a tough job?
It's a tough job to have. It's a private school in South. It's a JUCO, but it's a private JUCO in South Georgia and Cuthbert. There's nothing, maybe 2 or 3 lights down there. So it's a tough situation to get players down there, especially talented players.
Very expensive.
It's expensive?
Yeah. Huff says they can, but after watching one game, people want offers. And this, I think, is a good follow-up. So does film hold weight? Because I understand one game is not enough. This is an interesting topic. I think we wanted to talk about this whole film thing. So Bryce, I'll open it up, man. Go ahead, bro.
My first thing, because I have had the luxury of, and Locke as well, has had the luxury of being around live periods in AAU and high school before COVID. And when things were normal, when you didn't have to send a game film to anybody, they pulled up and they watched the game themselves. My thing, I hate the game film thing because I don't think it's fair. Because I don't think it's fair. If I can stop and pause and fast forward and rewind, you might take one possession off on defense. Shit, you might have played the whole game and you might be tired. You might take one possession off and they say, well, damn, he cheated on defense right there. I'm not gonna offer. Like, I don't like the game film thing. I like the fact that you can go watch a game, watch it for watch it live and see how the game is really flowing and then make your decision based off what you see right then and there. The 3 game film thing, to me, I think that shit is trash, just to be honest. I think that I personally, and I don't want to do any more research in tracking these films down anymore, but I do it because obviously I want to help kids, but I know I don't think it helps. Because I feel like you need to see them in person to see how hard this kid's playing, how big he looks, how strong he looks, how he shoots. Well, the game film, to me, you can make up things that you don't like about somebody. I personally don't like it. Have I seen people getting offers from it? Not for me. Not for me. Like, it doesn't work for us. It hasn't worked.
Typically, what I see is I want to see film. I want to see highlights. I want to see full game film. Then I want to talk to the kid. Then I want to come and watch him in person. And that's a lot
the 3 game film thing. Like, who made that shit up anyway?
You know what? I think when it's different when it's coming from high school players than it's coming from like a JUCO player, because I think a lot of times college coaches question the high school talent they're playing against. Because I haven't seen a lot of JUCO kids get offers off their film, but that college coach knows he's playing against other college players, so the film is different. Now, as regarding the high school player, that college coach is gonna look okay. He's playing against talent that is no bigger than 6'2", 6'3".
Right.
So of course he's gonna a lot of times nitpick.
They're gonna nitpick,
on that video. And then, like you say, it's easier to watch them in person.
What's nitpick in person? But I'd rather you nitpick in person off of your eye and see, things, or come back to another game and watch them again, than be able to watch it in slow motion and break it down and do this and do that. Like, I don't like that, bro.
Okay, so they're going crazy in the comments. Hold on, I'm gonna address it. John, I talked about this specifically, John, last week about out-of-state teams coming in and winning. I think we've talked about this like maybe 2 other times too. We talked about it, but I'll get to it after this. But I see you. We got you. We'll get there. I promise.
What's the issue? Well, like anything out. I ain't gonna talk about that much.
What do you look for, Bryce, when you're trying to go seeing game film to a coach? Like, are you just trying to find film that you have available, or are you looking for specific games? Like,
I had recently. This is recently. I've had 2 Division I coaches. I had one Division I coach in the ACC, and I don't know what conference the other school is. It's in the Midwest. Both wanted game film of the same player. I knew the player's tendencies and flaws. So, mind you, this is already 11 o'clock at night. So we know how long it takes to watch a game. I was trying to find the game that showcased that player the most. You know what I'm saying? And try to, like, it's kind of hard because you never know what somebody's looking for. You know what I mean? You never know. So I try to find game film that's showing the kid doing everything. Maybe he's defending, maybe he's hitting the outlet, he's hoping. You know what I mean? It just doesn't work for me. It doesn't work.
I'm gonna tell you, it is hard. And what pissed me off is we played at Lake Point, and I don't know who to blame, whatever. But we played against Team Carroll, probably the best team that we had played against in a month, and the fucking game wasn't recorded. They had every game except for that one.
How did that happen?
They didn't record any games on Sunday. None of them.
Damn.
So, yeah, I was pissed.
Because
you know how kids are when you're playing up against what they feel like is great competition. Yeah, they're playing up, right? But when you're not, you're not. Like, it's hard to get in it's hard. That, to me, that part of it is difficult, right? Because I am, like you, Bryce, searching for the game film that's showing you how this guy plays when we're playing against all these different level teams and kids don't play at the same level all the time, which I, totally understand.
For kids that, I hate to cut you off, for kids that usually play on independent teams, a lot of times they're already sleepers as it is. They're,
Yep.
you know what I mean?
Mhm.
So even the kids we had last year, I knew that this was going to be tough because you got to be in the building to see how hard they're playing, how athletic they. You can't see that on a camera. You can't see it.
It's hard to see that.
Yeah, like no matter what I post on Twitter or what we post on Instagram or what the connections that we have, you're not going to be able to see how physical a kid like Elijah Phillips is. You know what I mean? Like the dude can dunk between his legs. Okay, you know, maybe he has some things he got to work on, whatever. I'd rather you say that in person, you know what I mean, than like you just watch it. Or you maybe not even watch it at all. I don't know. I just know it doesn't work. It didn't work for us.
I'm gonna come from a different angle. What onus or responsibility do we put on coaches to have a damn Baller TV account or you know,
Baller TV is trash.
Baller TV is definitely trash.
Baller TV is terrible because I tried to go on there last week and the other day and find this windmill dunk and the thing scrolling like this.
Listen, I don't look. I don't know. I don't understand if there is a choice between Baller TV and SUV TV. I don't understand the choice. There's no choice.
But if you're a college coach, you should have all of them. I mean, in my opinion, I don't know your budget. I don't know what your bills are. Yeah. But shit, if I can go on there and get it and cancel it and get it again, so why can't you? Like
it gets tough. And as we
paying for stuff. Come on now.
We don't have a budget either. Listen, I've spent probably $200 on downloading game film because they charge you one price to access the site, but then it's a separate price to download the game film, and it gets tough.
I went on Baller TV this weekend, and when I did not find that play that I was looking for, I canceled that membership right then and there. So Baller TV, if you're watching this, that's your bad.
The camera don't even follow
bro.
Jersey number. Like it's
hey, anybody who knows us know that when we up by 15, 17, I'm gonna tell somebody not to play defense and stand at half court and catch a windmill. So of course I'll set it up.
Why are you doing that, Bryce?
Hey, I shouldn't be telling my secrets. I shouldn't be telling my secrets like this.
No, it's sad that
I said you can't be giving them the juice, man.
Never mind. Anyway, so we got a couple highlights, and they're like, damn, bro, I couldn't even post them.
Hey, this is frustrating too. Yes, it matters. I'm gonna tell you, yes, it matters. It shouldn't, but
it does. It does. I hate it.
It matters. It matters a lot. Actually,
I had a coach that didn't even want to look at a kid until I told him that the kid had an offer from another school. He didn't want to look at him. And then I told him what school he had an offer from. Then all of a sudden it changed.
But you know why? A lot of coaches don't. Some coaches. Every coach don't ask that. But I feel like they ask that to have like validation to make sure they trust their own eyes and see if they're not tripping.
Yeah. But Drake, honestly, I think that question got escalated more than it normally would be, because if you can go out and see somebody, a college coach usually knows what level somebody is. And then, or if I get a low major offer, Division I or whatever, I know. You know what I mean? I know what level he is or who's recruiting him. I don't have to really ask that question. And then you can go on verbal commits and see who's offered him for the most part. I think that question kind of got overused because coaches couldn't really come out. So they were like, okay, well, who else is looking at him? You know what I mean? So I think that's part of it. If you can't look at a kid, a lot of the times, and of course, my logic isn't always right, but for the most part, a lot of mid-major and low-major kids are going to come from independent programs. Let's be honest. It's just the way it is. a lot of the high major come from the schools. Now, you do have occasions where you get some high major kids in there, but a lot of the mid-major schools are recruiting from independent programs. Like, and I've had that conversation with college coaches like numerous times. So, you know, I think that question won't be used as much come June and July because they'll be able to see, you'll be able to know what level a kid kind of is. You can do your own homework.
Yeah. And at that point too, it wouldn't even matter because now they're just like, man, if they see that kid fits for their program, they're not going to care who offers him. They just going to want that kid for their program.
Yeah.
They want and what they need for their program.
Do y'all have problems with coaches feeling like that based on their relationship with you that you're going to get them a certain kid?
Nah.
Nah.
I can't guarantee none of that.
Nah.
So, okay. I just wondered about that because I always feel like
I feel like this
with the kid. I'm here to give you the introduction to the kid. I'll speak highly of you to the kid, but you got to deal with the kid and his family and always know that if the kid makes a horrible decision, it wasn't because I advised them to do that shit. He just made a bad decision.
Yeah.
I think there's been a staff that has been mad at me for some time because of a decision that was made based on the kid that we had. And
are they holding it against you? Are they not coming back to look at another kid?
Well, they probably will now. They might. I don't know. They might. I don't know. But I could tell like they was kind of like not.
The thrill is gone a little bit.
Yeah, they wasn't really feeling us too heavy like that because of a certain player we had that didn't go there at first. So, but I
look at that tells me that you really not trying to have a relationship with me because at the end of the day, I'm gonna still have players down the line.
Let me tell you something. Let me tell y'all something right now, and I'm gonna go in my bag a little bit. You can't. What's the word I'm looking for? You can't gas me up. Like,
what you mean?
I ain't with all. I'm not one of them dudes. Like, hey, yo, I see you got the J's on, bro. Like, hey, nah, bro. That ain't how it works.
They try to. I'm trying to get like you. That way into it.
You can't get like me, bro. Like that doesn't work for me. Like, bro, I got shoes. You know what I'm saying?
They can't sweet talk you.
You can't sweet talk. You can't.
They can't sweet talk you, Bryce.
Nah.
Wait.
I don't care. Like it doesn't matter, huh?
They can't start sending you gear. That's not gonna help. I feel like that'll help Locke. I feel like you send Locke some gear. I'm
gonna get gear from the kid regardless,
bro.
Like, represent him. Anyway. That don't matter. But I'm just saying, like, if I
much
know
as gear I got,
much gear you got, what?
Did Bryce freeze?
Nah, you froze.
Nah, Bryce still going. You froze.
Hey.
You froze, my boy.
Hey, you can't big up me though.
Man, my internet been acting up today.
You can't little bro me, dog. Little baby say you can't little bro me, dog.
Yeah.
You know, we know why. I know why you here. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know why I'm here. Let's leave it at that.
Let's get to it.
Yeah.
Let's get to it. Like, I'm gonna wear J's. I'm gonna wear whatever I wear, regardless of what I was doing right here, or whatever the case may be. It don't got nothing to do with what the business is.
Yeah. Don't try to slide in.
Don't try to slide in,
but
bro.
See,
I ain't a goofy.
But what is the way for them to? Is there a way for them to be in your good graces, Bryce?
I mean, just be cool, bro. Like I don't care about.
There's a way for them to get in mine. You can't be in my. you can be in my good graces. I'll tell
You
you.
know why you don't really necessarily have to be in my good graces? Because at the end of the day, like at the end of the day, it ain't really about
Everyone.
You know what I mean? Like, and at the end of the day, like if how many times am I gonna see you a year? How many times we really hanging out? You know what I'm saying? Like we really ain't partners like that. So what do we need to be in good graces for?
But I'm gonna be honest, right? Real relationship.
And I'm not saying I can't be cool with you. We're not gonna be cool and hang out and have a drink or whatever. I'm just saying, like,
just how coaches though want genuine relationships where you're not just calling them when you got a kid or when you're not just calling them when you want something. I would say in return, don't tell me you like the kid when you don't. Give me an honest eval, and you'll be in my good graces.
Who doesn't give you honest evals though?
Hey man, I've never had a coach.
I'm gonna speak on that, Jerry.
I can say this. I've only had one coach tell me, I don't think this kid can really play for me. Everybody else, I like them, but you know, we got our guards already. Or I like them, but I gotta get it. Or I like them.
Dre, are they still telling you the truth though?
That's the truth. They can't.
No,
aren't they still telling you the truth?
Nah, you might like. No, that's not true, Dre.
No, what you mean? Okay. But
I'm gonna give you
a prime example. Okay.
He's slowing down.
I like, quote unquote, y'all keep saying I like BBWs. That don't mean I want to wife them.
This is my thing. When I say an honest eval, I'm saying I know of actually two coaches now that I think about it. That in an eval, hey man, I watched your film. I watched the film you sent me. I don't think this kid's motor is high enough on defense. Takes too many plays off for me. Like that just won't fly for us. I think he's talented, but you know,
Dre.
I don't think he would be a good fit. Right? To me, that's honest. When you give me stuff that I can go back to the kid and say, this is how a college coach is evaluating you. Here's what they think you do good. Here's what they think you need to work on. To me, that's honest. When I hear I like them, but my filters are, my red flag is already up. What you about to say is some bullshit.
But Dre,
don't tell me I like them, but
Dre, I understand what you're saying.
Tell me, I don't think he's athletic enough to play in our league. I don't think
nobody's going to tell you that.
Why not? Be honest.
Because they don't
owe you. If you want to be in good with me, if you want me to trust you, then that's how you do it.
Yeah, they don't owe you.
Dre, they don't owe you the explanation.
They don't owe you. Yeah, they don't really owe you the explanation.
And for me,
why they don't
experiences.
But see, that's my thing though, Locke. If you have the time to lie to me, why don't you have the time to tell me the truth?
Right. Here's the thing though. They could say, oh yeah, I like him, but I don't know if he fits or whatever. You go back and tell your kid, and that shit could still be false information. The only thing that really matters is if the kid gets offered or not to play in that conference or that school.
I don't think that's true. I don't think that's true.
I think that's the problem, Dre. And the reason why I say that is because there will be parents, there will be players, whoever else it is that won't believe what their AAU or high school coach is telling them based off their experiences with them, unless somebody like a college coach tells them, which to me is not right. Why do I need somebody who we got the same amount of experience? You might be a college coach, but we got the same amount of experience in the gym. I know what a player looks like.
See, I'm not looking at it that way, right? I agree with you that it's stupid that I could tell something to a kid, and him not believe me, but will believe a college coach. I think that's silly as well. However, that college coach evaluation is still important because
it is.
Because again, some of the real evaluations that I've got this year, I've been able to go back to a kid And again, when we talk about telling the cold, hard, honest truth, you're not, at the end of the day, you're not asking me for a scholarship. You're here and playing for Georgia Man Up because I wanted you. Right? So we've established that already. But you're asking somebody else for something. And one of the people that you ask for, here's what they have to say. And I've seen that motivate a kid to do better.
And Dre, like I said, yes, I understand where you're coming from. And yeah, sometimes it works when you do show the kid the message or whatever. But I just feel like if I've been doing this long enough, if you've been doing it long enough, you've been in the gym, you've seen talent, you sent kids to school, you know what it is. You should be listening to what I'm telling you. I shouldn't have to get validation if I have to go get validation from a college coach, 9 times out of 10, you're not going to be playing there. Because if you need validation, like if you need validation, there's no validation. Either I like you or I don't. If I got to go say, yo, coach, what do you think about so-and-so? They wouldn't have to do that if they already liked the kid. There would be no validation. That's my point, because they would be jumping on him already. If I got to seek out, and this is what I've been trying to tell, like if I have to seek people out for you, a lot of times that's not a good thing, because these people do this for a living. They're basketball coaches for a living. So they know talent, especially in their area.
Well, in normal circumstances, if you have to seek people out for a kid, it's probably a bad thing. In this circumstance, with no lie period, I don't know. I think that's kind of normal.
I don't know. I just that's just my methodology. And I feel like, and I give college coaches the respect they deserve in that sense, that this is their job to find talent and build their program. So if I have to go send some, now, yes, sometimes it does work like, damn, who's that kid? I've never seen, but 9 times out of 10, like if it's a good program he's coming from, a good high school, these college coaches have heard of these kids before. They know them. Now, yes, you have sleepers and stuff like that occasionally, but most of the time they know who they are. And they know what they can do well and what they don't do well. That's just the way I look at it. And if I'm in the gym and I'm with you before you even get to college or you get to a professional point, like I can see what you're doing and what you don't do you don't do. I feel like you should value that. Now, if I was a rookie, let's say I'm in my first year coaching 17U or whatever, then yeah, okay. I can understand
I don't think that matters. You still may know what it takes to get a player into college.
Yes and no. If you haven't seen it, not necessarily. You know what I mean?
Like, if you've never seen it.
The way that I talk to kids now is totally different than I talked to them when I first started coaching 17U. Totally different.
Is it really?
Totally different. Totally different. I used to yell at them, why are you shooting so much? Why are you doing? Now I just say, hey, bro, you're going to keep shooting the ball. You're not going to get recruited. You're not big enough. You're not strong enough. You don't put extra work in. Well, guess what? This is probably the level you're going to be at. That's just the way I talk to them. I try to keep it as practical and as like plain, lame terms so they can understand what I'm telling them.
Yeah, I'm not doing all that yelling, bro. Like that's been, but actually I think I learned that from Huff though. I'm not getting myself all wound up and my blood pressure all high because you don't want to go to school for real. I'm not doing that.
Hey, man. Dre, man, Huff be a smooth operator on the bench.
Yeah, I'm not doing that. Now the only thing I'm trying to stop is I'm trying to stop cussing so much. I'm trying to there's a way of being able to get onto a kid and really get into a kid without cussing at them. I'm trying to get that. I'm trying to learn that. I'm getting better though. I'm getting way better.
Hey, I start putting people.
He's a smooth operator.
I put him in timeout, Joe.
Yeah. But Huff, what you're saying right there, but not need that position. That is honest.
I don't think that's honest though. I don't think that's honest.
Hey, when I had a coach tell me, "Hey, coach, I like him, but all I got is got an extra year. My guy guard is all conference. He's coming back. I don't need another guard. I can live with that. That's honest."
Yeah, but
I'm just saying, don't make it up.
How do you know it's not? My point is, if you didn't know it was Huff, if it was a coach from the middle of nowhere, somewhere other school where you ain't never, how do you know that that's honest versus not?
You don't know when somebody's lying to you?
I don't care.
You know what I mean? Like, no, I just don't. That's just me personally.
For me, it doesn't work like that. It's either he's going to be on, you're going to offer him, he's going to give him opportunity to be on campus, or you're not. I don't have time to decipher whether you're telling me the truth based off your evaluation. Hey, man, so-and-so's on the phone with me. He says that same thing you just said, Dre. They got a dude coming back. They love you, super athletic, but
I guess I'll just look at those relationships differently, man. Like I guess my thing is too. I want that working relationship with college coaches.
No, like, I work with relationship. I work with
you because this kid may not be the kid for you, and that's fine. But
yeah, definitely.
But you gave me like I said, the coach that I'm thinking of in my head right now is a Division II coach. Just one of the best evals that I got so far this summer. One of, not the only one. But because of that, we can come back and have a conversation about any other kid that I have because to me it's real work to give me the type of evaluation that he gave me. So when I sent him those 4 full game film, because of his eval, I know he watched it. Yeah. So I don't feel like I wasted my time.
I'm not saying that the relationships are not important. They are important. I'm just saying when it comes to an evaluation of a player, to me it's pretty cut and dry. Like either you can offer him or you can't. I already have seen him play. I know.
Just offer my guy or not. Get out of my way.
Okay. I'm not saying it like that. I'm just saying like, and
kind of you are.
No, I'm not though, because when it comes to evaluations, and if I have to use this evaluation from him to pass it on, like.
You don't pass that information on to your kids when you get good information about a kid. You don't pass it on?
Sometimes I do, because if there's a parent who is like constantly like trying to see what's going on with their kid, then yes, I will use that as information. But I trust what I do, so I can tell you what you need, what you work on, what you don't. And all I'm saying is, who's to say that just because the coach says, "Oh yeah, man, I like him, I love him, but we just don't have any room." Who's to say that that's true? Still, you know what I mean? Like, that's all I'm saying. Like, how do I know that that's still true or false? Like, I don't have time to decipher whether that is or it isn't. That doesn't mean I don't want the relationship. Yeah, I'm gonna pick up the phone and call you. So chop it up with you. But if I know you can't hit a jumper, or if I know you can't handle the rock, or you don't hit a head and make the extra pass, shit, I'm telling you that shit right now.
Hey, so with live period coming, and I don't want to shift gears too much. Do you guys prepare parents for live period?
Woo! Man.
I feel like the parents
don't really know.
Some parents need to stay home, to be honest, because you just your anxiety and your nerves,
you're gonna fuck it up.
It like
I don't like I said. You really can't prepare parents.
Nah, it's not my lane to prepare an adult.
I'm having a conference call with all my parents.
What you gonna tell them?
We put together a full PowerPoint presentation.
That shit ain't gonna work. Hey, when you see all them coaches over there and they write down notes,
send me their presentation. Though. I want to see it.
Yeah, I want to see
it. Hey, shout out to the Man Up coaching staff, Coach Malik, Coach G, Coach Wes, Malik, Dave.
Which one of y'all want to smoke, man? We had an early loss last weekend. That's my fault. You know what I'm saying? Bad coaching on my behalf. We end up winning the next 3 in a row, though.
That's the week.
That's my fault.
Make that face again, Dre. Huh? Make the face again, Dre. Make the face again.
I don't even know what I did.
Hey, hold up, bro. Hold up. Hey, he can't make no faces because You know what I'm saying? Most of my team young,
Hey.
and they don't come ready to play.
Oh, here we go.
Hey,
Here
my
we go.
my
Dre, let me
16
tell
Here
you
we go.
hey,
let
my
me-
16s have been playing up 17,
Dre,
and we only lost one game as well.
I was watching y'all at Wheeler High School last weekend, and with the dudes that are coming in July, if y'all on our schedule, we're gonna beat the shit. We're gonna beat y'all by 20.
That's great, man. I will be happy for you, man. I'll be thrilled.
Yeah, and see, hey,
Mm.
Team South Carolina was playing extra hard, and we didn't play hard. My kids don't always play hard. They don't understand that yet.
Well, we beat South Carolina the first time we played them by 30, and we were missing a guy when we played them the second time, and we lost in overtime, and 5 of our guys fouled out of that game.
How you beat them by 30 the first time and losing overtime?
5 of our guys fouled out of the game.
That's not an excuse. That means they were fouling too much. They were
Okay, did y'all beat them by 30?
We ain't beat them.
Okay, we beat them by 30.
That's what
Hey, talk that is Dre. Talk
and
that smoke, Dre.
the other thing is, we went
Talk
3
that
and
smoke,
1.
Dre.
We went 3 and 1 and played with 6 people. I played with 6 people.
We've done that.
I'm saying we played with 6
Talk
people.
that smoke, Dre.
Actually, when we beat Team South Carolina by 30, we had 7.
Okay. Well, in July we're gonna have everybody. So
I'll be happy for you too.
South Carolina. Team South Carolina played us really well. They came out playing hard.
Much respect, man. And my guys, and I'm not shitting on
Y'all
Team
had
South
y'all
Carolina
popcorn ready.
because my guys, when we played Team South Carolina, I think it may have only been
Have
their
y'all popcorn ready.
event, and my guys were really up to play them because I let my guys know how good they were. So I don't want to say that out of any type of disrespect to Team South Carolina. I respect that entire organization. They're great. My guys caught them early in the season, and they were really up to play them, just like I'm sure they were up to play us when they played us at Wheeler this weekend. So great game.
And let me tell you, your kids be stopping me. Your kids always stopping me in the lobby and doing all this and doing all that. Like
my kids, look, here's what my kids have learned. Here's what my kids have gotten fed up with. Number one, I have 2021 kids who are younger than a lot of these 2022 kids that are playing. And
whose fault is that?
So they are tired of what people are saying about them, which I understand, because it's people saying about them being 2021 as if they are older when they're not. I have 2023 kids, not just one, multiple 2023 kids that are playing up 17U and playing big minutes, that are playing very well. And the message that they get from me is, if you continue to handle business, winning matters, because that's what we say. And they're getting tired of feeling like winning doesn't matter, because they look at these brackets and they come back and they ask me questions that I can't answer.
But Dre,
why is it that they
what do they ask you, Dre?
Dre, but you guys didn't win your bracket last week. Neither did we. So what you saying winning matters? What was your record last weekend?
We're 4-1.
So we both lost one game. So I'm confused what you mean.
So
neither one of us won in the bracket.
So this is what I'm saying. I'm talking about big picture. My kids were not talking about last week. They were ready last week. They pushed out that first game, and we played horrible because they were ready for what was next.
They wasn't ready. Man, we done beat y'all with 6 people. Anyway,
we handled business because both kids were ready for what was next.
So y'all look at
the big picture. The big picture is that they have been hungry for big matchups because every big matchup that they've gotten, outside of one, they've won.
But they should be, Dre. They should be winning. Let's keep it a buck.
Why is that?
Come on, Dre.
Okay.
They shouldn't be winning.
Hey man,
They should be
it feels
winning.
good getting back on the show. See y'all.
should be-
See y'all go at it.
They should be
I don't
smacking
think
people
there's
up and
anything-
down the floor, Dre. They should be smacking people like that. Smacking them. Shouldn't they?
Hey man, hold on. I'm drinking the wrong stuff for
Hey.
this show right now. Let me go get my drink.
Can I use a lifeline, please? Can I use a lifeline?
A lifeline.
Can I phone a friend?
I don't understand where this is going with, man. Where do you want to go, bro?
Hey, you guys should be winning. You got 2 or 3 dudes that's already played a full prep season and coming back. They should be winning.
We have 2 guys that play prep.
And they huge, so that's all it takes. They should be winning. Right?
You say so?
They shouldn't be losing.
Okay. Hey man, whatever you say, bro.
I'm just saying they should be winning.
Like I said, the same way I would say that is I'll say, yeah, we also have
What's a big time matchup for them?
a 2023 kid that's playing huge minutes on that team too. 2 of them actually.
What is a big matchup for them? What are they looking for? Who are they looking for?
I'm just gonna say this. They look at the schedule, and they see the matchups that teams get that aren't winning, like at all. They're kids, man. At the end of the day, if they didn't want to play big teams, if they didn't want those matchups, then I would feel different about them. And the kids that you talking about that's pushing up on you and want the Kings, those are 2023 guys. Those are young guys.
I don't care who. I don't care what grade they
Those
are.
young guys.
I don't care.
My young guys want it, and they should want it.
Nah, that's cool. Nah, they should. They should. But
my young guys want it.
It's different. Like it's a little different level when you coach when you coaching against me. I'm gonna just be honest, coaching.
Now we get into what it's really about. Now we get into it. You came back at the right time, bro. Now we get into it.
It's not about me at all.
We just was about you. Now we get into it.
You talking about like a 2023 kid and then he young playing up. That's gonna make it even worse because when I start getting in his ear when nobody sees it and he start missing all these jump shots, I'm gonna look over you and say, "What are you doing? He just 2023."
I hear you.
Hey man, look.
They're betting on the game in the comments. We got the greatest chat ever.
Right. Y'all supposed to be winning, bro.
They're betting on the game in the comments. I love it.
6 months, not 6 months, but you got dudes removed from prep school already, almost a semester removed from prep school.
Oh, he didn't go there. He didn't go there.
What you mean?
Okay.
I mean, we all done it. I'm not saying that shit before, but
it doesn't sound like we've all done it when you just said that.
No, we haven't.
It doesn't sound like we've all done it. But okay.
The kids that I had to came after April.
If we had a live period, we probably would have stopped after April.
Well, if those same kids are playing, that's cool. That's even better. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter.
Okay.
It doesn't matter.
I'm with you. It doesn't matter. But you just said it matters. I'm with you that it doesn't matter now.
It doesn't matter to me. It don't matter to me. I don't care how old they are.
Okay.
Because I'm opening the floor up and it's gonna be a mismatch somewhere on the floor.
That game.
Somewhere. And you don't want me to start calling out kids' names because I ain't gonna do
Go
that.
ahead, man. No, I do. I really do. You should. Who are you gonna single out? Who are you gonna single out? Because this is gonna be great.
I'm not gonna do that. All I know is you talking about young kids is playing up. Okay.
So who's the mismatch? So you saying Jelani is the mismatch? Or you saying that's who you gonna single out?
Who he gonna guard?
Whoever I tell him to guard.
I'm saying who he gonna guard?
Whoever I tell him to guard. Tell me who he can't guard. That's interesting. Tell me who he can't guard. You're gonna single Jelani out. Tell me who he can't guard.
You brought his name up, not me.
No, you brought up young kids playing up, and that's who you're gonna single out. So tell me who you're gonna single out.
Who he can guard. He can't guard. He can't guard AJ White if he plays. He can't guard Bam. He can't guard Dominique Henderson. So that's 3 guards right there that's blowing past him every time. Do you want to keep it? I mean, you can record this and send it to him.
Keep going. He listening?
How many more do I need to say that he can't guard?
He listening.
I'm not here to embarrass anybody or put no.
Oh
man, he's not gonna be embarrassed.
Oh my God.
He's gonna love this.
Hey, I might put Zacko.
Why do I have to work tomorrow?
I might put Zacko in the orange.
You should.
I might.
You should. Hey man, Lonnie's gonna love this clip.
You know what?
He's gonna love this. This is exactly what he needed.
This is. Oh man, you guys are funny.
Jelani's gonna love this.
But a lock. They should be 29 and 1. Right? And you can
29 and 1?
Damn near.
We're close.
Exactly. So you can have a 2023 kid playing with a couple of older kids because whatever his weakness is, if he has one, it should get covered up. Now Dre shaking his head like what I'm saying. I'm just saying.
Hey man, I'm letting you get
my boy Ryan knows on your ass.
Open
my boy Ryan knows.
Whoever the mismatch is, I don't know. It may not be him. I don't know.
Whoever the mismatch is, you're exploiting it though, is what you're saying.
That's what basketball is.
Okay.
So you're left-handed point guard. If you're left-handed point guard, because I watch you guys, if you're left-handed point guard is guarding, like, let's say he's guarding Dominique. Well, guess what's gonna happen? Dominique's gonna go in the post.
Okay.
Or he's gonna. I could tell you.
His name is Lathan Levens, by the way. For people who people should know his name. He's had a great summer. 2022 kid, works hard, plays hard as hell, man. One of the most fun kids that I've ever had the opportunity.
Yeah, he's cool. He's cool. But
great.
Yeah, he's cool. But yeah, that's all I'm saying. Like,
I can't wait to clip that up too.
You can clip it up all you want. Like, that shit doesn't matter to me, bro. Because even game live and direct, I'm gonna be with it, and they got to be able to handle it. Shit, so do my kid. They got to be able to handle it the same way. AJ White went for 30 at Team South Carolina. We just came up short. And we only had six players. So we had more guards and another big. Come on, bro. Come on, bro. You ain't gonna say, I'm gonna talk shit.
Hey man, we were ready to play the game. There's no more shit to talk. We were ready to play.
And the thing is, I'm not even really talking shit. Like, I'm not even talking negatively. I'm just, if it was another team, it would be the same thing. Like, okay, well, there's the mismatch. Let's try to, this is what it is. Like,
right.
I'm not saying nothing negative about them.
Right. No, we got you. I think what I was just more so talking about was the not necessarily a matchup with the Canes. I'm talking about just on his face a full season.
Why?
My guys are ready to go, man. They're ready to play somebody. They're ready to play somebody that is going to earn them the respect that they feel like they deserve and get them some of the matchups that they want. And they're competitors. They want to have fun. They want to play basketball at a high level. And they want people who are going to push them to play at a high level. So they want that.
Do they think that these matchups and winning those games justifies their skill set or their level, how good they are or something?
No, I think they have fun competing and playing basketball. Will Freeman is a state champion. He loves competing. He doesn't like playing against teams that he doesn't feel like are good. He feels like he's earned the right to play against guys that are really good, that he has to prove himself.
Fair. That's
they loved playing against Team Carroll when ZJ was out there, like, because they felt like it was a worthy adversary, somebody that they could look across and have respect for and say, man, I want to go up against that guy. Like, if you're not one of those guys that wants that, we're probably not going to get along very well. I just so happen to have a team full of guys that really love that. Like Lathan, like when we played Team Carroll, and I keep going back to that because that is the guy that they all knew, right? Not saying anything about their team or anything like that. We were playing against a guy they all knew. On the bench before the game, they were literally arguing about who was going to guard Zako because it was that respect. They want the bump. They want that.
What was the result of that game of who guarded him? I'm just wondering. I don't know.
We played really well.
Man up one.
We played really well.
How much I win by?
Man up one. Hey, we have to talk about what John is talking about.
Who was he? What team is he talking about? Just getting smacked.
I talked about this last week, but I'll let you open it up.
So,
well,
I said this early this year.
Every year, some teams are, you have really great years, and sometimes you don't. I think that's just part of the way it works. Like, some years you have fantastic, amazing talent. Yeah. The next year you might take a break and say, well, shit, the talent level is not as high. Mm-hmm. Hey, just know when we beat Man Up, I'm a pass Dre a shirt like this, and he gotta wear it out the gym. Go ahead, wear it out the gym, my guy. That screenshot.
Hey, I don't think we carried 3 X's.
Hey, so that's the bet.
I ain't take it there.
Hey, so that's the bet. Loser wears the opposing guy's shirt.
I'm cool with that, and I put a wing plate on it.
I like that.
And you got to wear the opposing team shirt in the sports bar. I'm cool with it.
That I like that, man. That'll be fun, man. That'll be a lot of fun. Loser wears the other guy's shirt. We'll take a picture and everything. That'll be fun.
That's between y'all two. I'm not doing that.
I hope you have your team out there on the football field getting their mind right.
Hey, listen. If that's what it takes.
Hey,
if that's what it takes.
Nah.
Oh, man.
You do it. You got to do it. But
that's what it takes.
Oh, man.
My 2023 since then. My 2023 since then have played extremely well.
Did anybody quit after that?
No.
I guess it worked then.
Yeah, Bryce, you told him he's gonna be running out in the field.
Hey, man. Hey, you know what I told him, Locke? I told him after I made him run on the football field when we lost to Team Dickerson, I made him run on the football field, and I told him that if we didn't play the next game, we were coming back. And we were going to run stadium steps.
Y'all was leading against Team Dickerson, weren't y'all?
We were. My guys, my 2023s, man, just show immaturity at times.
Oh, yeah, that's all younger kids.
Really talented, but can be really selfish and immature.
So funny.
At times. One of the more talented, all-around, skilled, talented teams that I've coached, though. But just the immaturity catches up with them sometimes.
Y'all are so funny. Y'all are funny. Y'all was really funny tonight.
Right. I don't have no. Hey, man, I don't have no problem.
The team we played the last game of the last event, the kids were talking shit to me. They was mad at me because I pointed out the other kid's weakness. And I told my guy to sit on his left hand because he can't go right and make him pull up for the jumper. Don't let him drive. So back off, make him pull up. And I said, oh, we good with that. We'll live with that jumper. So the kid was getting mad at me because he couldn't hit the jumper. That's what I'm trying to say.
We did the same thing to that team too. We played them.
Y'all ain't gonna call out the team?
Don't get me wrong. They had one kid that could not miss.
Y'all not gonna call out the team?
I don't even know their name.
TSF.
No, they wasn't TSF.
It wasn't TSF.
It was TSF, Bryce.
Nah,
that was a
was like FCB or F. We beat TSF too, but I didn't have to do none of that against TSF, to be honest. We just played up and right now.
Hey, I do want to talk about this. Listen, I'm gonna lose 30 pounds.
How long you got?
Oh, I'm not giving myself a time. Well, actually, I want to do it within a year.
A year?
I don't want to do it like on some crash diet and gain it all back. But
so what's your plan?
No, I'm giving myself a year. I'm gonna lose 30 pounds.
What's your plan?
So Drake, I was gonna joke on you, but you know what? I'm gonna be that good friend and say I give you 25. I'm gonna give you 30.
30? Well, so here's the thing. I am 255 right now. I'm 255. So even losing 30 pounds still doesn't get me to where I probably should be. I should probably be right around 200. But
Drake, you 255 under 6 feet?
I'm 255.
Under 6 foot?
Yeah.
So what is your plan? Drop 25.
Unless I'm gonna grow. No fast food. Start today.
Yeah. Hey, can I get a shout out real quick though?
I'm gonna slowly start cutting one thing at a time, man. No fast food.
I want to give a shout out to Chef
Adrian. Food is good, right?
Yo, that food is good.
Food's good.
It is good. I'm thoroughly impressed. So yeah, I can cut out fast food now that I got him too.
Yeah, I'm gonna cut out fast food. I tell myself if I do have to get fast food, I'm gonna try to find a healthier option like a Subway. Yeah. Well, I can't get salad because they pre-package cheese on it, and I can't eat cheese.
Yeah, I don't eat none of that on there though. When I get out, I come to
get you a BBW.
12 weeks.
Are you gonna do any type of fitness?
I'm gonna take that. Yeah, but one thing at a time.
Right, you
got to cutting out things. I've been cutting out things every month for the last 3 months.
So, like, what have you cut out? Fast food. What else?
It's been working.
Soda.
It's been working.
If I could cut out soda, I'd be straight. I can't. It's so hard for me to cut like Sprite out.
Yeah.
He called you a tree stump.
I love it. That's why I wanted to talk about it on the show because this is like accountability, man.
I hope you were screen record that too. While you screen recording
accountability. No, I don't have to screen record it, man. It's too many of my team.
You screen recording that shit while you screen record that shit.
Hey man, Jelani probably already got that clip, man. There's too many kids that watch. Like I don't have to do that.
If he called me a tree stump, I'd go outside right now and run 100 miles.
Nah, a little bit at a time, man. Eat an elephant one bite at a time. I got it.
Jelani stopped me every time, bro. I can't we gonna have to play, bro. We got to.
You and Jelani should play 1-on-1. That'd be fun.
He's just gonna foul me just like everybody else gonna do, bro. Right? Because I'm no.
Hey, come to South Kyle tomorrow. We got the gym.
What time y'all got it? In the evening.
7.
What time? What's tomorrow? Thursday or Friday?
Friday.
I'm at that point where I don't know the days anymore because school's over.
Come to the gym tomorrow. You and Jelani can play 1-on-1. That'll be fun.
Friday. I don't like going to the gym on Friday, to be honest. I feel like the week is over with, but we'll see.
I'm a Capricorn.
He gonna have his hands full. I know that much. Oh man.
Lock. So the change in Lock, you want to talk about some June stuff? I don't want to talk about Lock.
Yeah. Lock had some smoke. He trying to go ahead, talk about that. You got the intel on the team.
Are y'all finished? Y'all been going at it for about an hour. No, man, that ain't cool. I talked to a few high school coaches. They're on the waiting list, but they got out-of-state teams. So They have Georgia teams on the waiting list, but they have teams from Florida, South Carolina, Alabama, and North Carolina attending these events.
And is it strictly
That's
supposed
just,
to be Georgia
I feel
team?
like that's not.
Bryce,
a good
didn't you
thing
say
to
it was
do,
a team from Ohio
in my
coming?
opinion.
Nah, I ain't say. I think Locke said that.
I think so. Yeah.
They must got some horses on their team or something.
Yeah. You didn't see the list?
I
It
did.
doesn't even matter about the horses.
I looked
Bro,
at.
you got teams like Valdosta High School is on the waiting list.
No, I'm not.
And then you got teams like the GISA.
Yeah, I get it. I understand. If it's a Georgia team came, I feel like Georgia schools should be prioritized. But that's what I'm saying. If you got my point is
you got teams like
something about it.
Yeah, like I just feel like what's the point of saying it's a Georgia team camp? You got Georgia teams on the waiting list, and you got teams that are playing in like any GISA or GICCA teams can't participate. Yeah, but you have teams that are not in the GHSA
playing,
attending the event.
Yeah,
and then I'm hearing you could only participate in one event, but I'm hearing 4 schools can participate in both of them.
Let me ask you a question: the schools that won the GISA, like a Cumberland who got state runner-up, are they invited? They can't.
No, they're not playing in it. So they would not see Jelani Hamilton play in June.
Yeah, that's a bad look. And there's some other good players on their team too.
Look, Baldwin. Exactly. You got Bacon. You got Gore.
And champions.
My guy, look, Baldwin is on the waiting list, and they are the state champions. Like, come on, where's the respect?
Who is over the waiting list? How's that work?
I don't know. Jesse, maybe Norcross. Jesse, maybe.
The people in that picture we saw that was tweeted, they had like a little dinner outside.
Maybe, but it's like
they like.
That's like what the fuck is wrong with Bryce today, man? What is wrong with this man? All right, go ahead, Bryce.
Hey, I'm well rested. I've been like chilling for a while.
You've been on one all night, man. Okay.
Hey, that was the good old boys of Georgia high school basketball right there, wasn't it?
That's cool, but I just don't like. Yeah, you got schools like Baldwin, like he said, they won the state championship. Of course, they have talented players. They have players moved on to the next level, but they don't get a chance, the opportunity to play in the Georgia team camps.
See,
hey, let me ask this question, because I know being that Hub isn't a part of the process anymore, I know absolutely nothing about what they did as far as specifics this year. We talked about having somebody on to talk about it, but they're not scheduled to come on until a little bit later in June. I know from the first year that they did it, there were some communication issues that got highlighted in the process of how teams were able to register. And when I say that, I mean, we found out that the emails that got sent out, that some head coaches were not checking their email or did not respond and didn't register on time. There were some emails that went to athletic directors that were not passed on to the head coaches. And there was a lot of that going on with the first year that the June live period happened. Do we think that has something to do with it this year, and that people are just trying to come in and register late?
I don't think that was the same thing would happen again, though, Dre. If you know you got messed up and your AD maybe overlooked it, or you overlooked the email, I don't think.
Because I heard you had to register in January or something. Now I could be wrong. I could just be making that shit up, but that's what I thought I was told.
It wasn't out in January.
Yeah, I don't think it was. It couldn't have been January because
wasn't out in January.
They was gonna have a live period until I don't see how that's possible. unless they just
they didn't announce the live period till like March.
Yeah, recently. So,
Got you.
I don't know how that works.
But hey, man, it is what it is,
So
man.
one thing I kind of see that is not really fair about that is if you're
coaches
program.
should have been on go and got signed up.
Yeah. But
should a high school coach come out of pocket? Because I remember one issue that we ran into the first year was that coaches were trying to get the spending approved. And had to put in paperwork to get that money approved and actually get a check, and everybody's process is not the same.
It's like $450 though, right?
I thought it was like $150 last time.
Oh,
it could be more.
Well,
so I'm gonna say this. The first time I thought it was like $150, but the first time they held it at McEachern and Marietta, maybe it's more now because they're holding it at Lake Point.
I mean, to me, if it's a reasonable amount, and if you're a program or a coach trying to, then this was my point. If you're a program or a coach that's trying to build your school, build your program up, and if it's a reasonable amount and it's going to guarantee you a spot, I probably would have made the sacrifice and paid it and hope that it would have got approved. But, and here's the thing, if you don't get in those type of events, then that's when those kids start to look for other schools. They start to look to transfer. Like, let's be honest. Like, if you missing a live period, and especially now, they ain't been a live period in almost a year and a half, 2 years, and then you can get in one.
Can you join? I don't even know if Huff is allowed to talk about this, but Huff is chiming in with some good information. And Huff, if you can join, I'll send you a link because that's good info. My bad, Bryce. Didn't mean to interrupt you. Go ahead.
Oh, no, you good. I was just saying, like, if you don't get in, like, you got to get in. If you don't get in, then you're going to be a program that's kind of like, man, well, why didn't I get in? Why my kids don't get the same type of exposure? You trying to build a program. So if I was a coach, and especially if I'm a first-year coach, shit, I might have to come out of pocket and pay for it just to get and hope that I get my money back. But if I don't, you know what I mean? Like, you don't want to lose your talent because you didn't go in a June team camp.
I'm gonna say this. More than not losing your talent. I think too many. Okay, cool. I'm gonna send you the link, Huff. I'm sending it to you right now. More than I agree with you, Bryce, that does happen. That you can lose your talent because of that. But I wish that coaches would just be as motivated to make sure that kids get opportunities as they are about watching transfers. And I think if they were as motivated to help kids get opportunities, then they wouldn't have to worry about transfer so much.
Yeah, but that's part of helping getting kids opportunities, right? It's planning a live period.
I agree. I'm just saying the motivation, the intention shouldn't be fear, right? I don't like when people are motivated by fear of I gotta do this, I'm gonna lose kids.
But
you know,
you're right. I'm just saying, but if, from a parent, if you look at like the conversation in the household now, well, damn, why didn't my school get an invite to live period?
God,
my boy.
Man, y'all are on one tonight, man. That's all I'm saying.
Hey, Huff,
damn. Hey,
Huff got on now. My internet.
Huff, you look like you've been getting some good meals over there.
Hey, man, I'm getting real good meals, man. Fried chicken.
I see you.
I had half of mine.
I see you looking like Jerry. You ain't got no neck over there.
I got a neck. I got a neck.
Hey, Huff, I almost felt like you were gonna still be in the office. I had half.
It's a little too late.
Huff, what can you tell us, man? What can you tell us about this team camp situation?
Well,
what information can you give us about how the process was handled?
if I'm not mistaken, that email was out even before I took the Voorhees job. And they were just trying to, in preparation, if there was going to be a live period, not knowing they wanted to have everything in place. If it wasn't before I took it, it was somewhere thereafter. But I believe it was before January. Now, whether some people answered the email, because the email actually this year was a little bit different. Because it asked you which weekend you want to play at or play on. Didn't mean you were going to get that particular weekend, but, you know, you got to choose or which weekend you prefer to play. As far as price is kind of set by the NCAA, so they don't really have that's for how much it costs for college coaches, how much the teams have to pay. All that's set by the NCAA because it goes, you know, for everybody. It's not just for Georgia, but North Carolina, Tennessee, Texas, you know. But I will say this. I think whatever is going on, there are more states that are trying to do it right now. So Georgia is in competition with other states now who saw the benefit of having this for their athletes. Like I know the first weekend, as you know, James and I are trying to, and Coach O are trying to, you know, get ready for June. You've got South Carolina, you've got North Carolina, you got Georgia, all doing it the first weekend, right? But then you talk about the second weekend and you got Georgia again. Well, then you got a JUCO one that's in Alabama. Then you got Texas. You know, unfortunately, like Florida doesn't have one. So maybe that's why those Florida teams were allowed to come to Georgia. I don't know.
That's real interesting. And you guys kind of had some of these problems pre-COVID. The first time we tried this in June about this email distribution list and who was contacted and who wasn't, right? Like there was issues about, hey man, that went to your AD. And if your AD didn't send it to you, or am I making that up?
No, that was the issue. We had ADs that didn't send it to the coach. We had coaches that didn't respond. And I'm pretty sure they had some of the same issues this year. We just got some. It's unfortunate, but you have some coaches who, I hate to say it, don't do their job. The one thing that probably could have happened, I mean, there were a lot of coaching changes this year. If you look at in Georgia, maybe there were some schools that, you know, in the midst of the coaching change, didn't follow back up for whatever reason. There were teams I do know that decided not to play in it. Why you would decide not to play in it, I have no idea. But kind of is what it is.
There are some guys who maybe feel like.
Let me ask you this, huh?
Go ahead, Locke.
Go, Dre. Do you think out-of-state teams should be able to participate in the Georgia team camps?
So there are two ways of thinking about it. If it's a Georgia high school team camp, so the way the NCAA sets it up, you have to be part of either your Georgia or your high school athletic association, right? So that's why the GISA schools aren't allowed to play in it as a team, because they're not in their high school athletic association.
That's understandable.
The other side of that, though, is if there are some Georgia teams like Baldwin, I didn't know. I just kind of looked at the list of teams today. Baldwin not being in as a state champion is kind of concerning. But I don't know if they didn't get the email, if they never responded, or now that the list has come out, now they saying, well, we want to get in. I don't know that. So those are questions that, you know, only, you know, someone on the committee or, you know, even the coach at Baldwin could answer about that. But if you're looking at it this way, Locke, if we want Georgia to have the best team camp possible, then what way to bring even more college coaches in by bringing some of the best talent from other states who may not have a team camp in.
True.
So it's two ways to look at it.
Yeah, I get that. But I feel like we always say this. We say this every day, every week. Atlanta is the mecca right now, AAU basketball. So I feel like college coaches are going to come regardless of any of those out-of-state teams are going to be here because we have enough talent here in the state where they don't even out-of-state teams don't even have to come participate in our Georgia events. I just feel like they're trying to make it to an AAU event or compete with AAU and get those out-of-state events because, like you said, it's no way in hell Baldwin should not be participating in this event.
It's a tough road, man. I just think I don't know why they decided or why they didn't decide, but I mean, looking at the out-of-state teams now, they probably some of those teams got a lot of talent.
No, they do. They definitely do.
But I do understand what you're saying. It's tough leaving a Georgia team at home and them looking at that list and saying, well, there's a Florida team or Ohio team or South Carolina team. Like I think Dorman's in it. You know, that's tough.
Yeah. And what makes it worse is 2 weekends.
Yeah.
It's 2 weekends. It's not just one weekend.
And you're not supposed to play in both weekends.
Yeah. So that's I'm like, so you're telling me you can't fit them in one of those weekends. It's not like the year when you was coaching, we had the team count and the individual count.
Right.
It's 2 weekends, so there's no way in hell they should not be able to participate in one of those weekends.
Now here's a question I will ask both of you, and I wish Bryce was on here too. Should you just open it up to every Georgia team, regardless if they have a college prospect or not?
Yes.
And that's a real question that probably has to be answered.
Because at the end of the day, you still want to, because that kid might not be a college prospect now. We don't know what's going to happen by the time March get here. Would we ever thought about Cross Creek or Baldwin having college players? Them 2 teams that normally, those schools don't normally come up.
Well, there's my plug. Cross Creek will be at the Denmark Summer Explosion. I just thought of that.
Good plug, my boy.
Yeah, hey,
I've got Georgia teams coming to South Carolina to play, but
good plug. Baldwin may need to look at getting that too. That Summer Explosion will be great for Baldwin. They should get in.
I'll say this, that if you had Alan Carden on this show, head coach of Sequoia, which I think you did before, Dre, during COVID, he'll tell you Jackson Greco doesn't get his Division I scholarship without playing in that team camp, that Georgia team.
He absolutely does not. That's true.
And if I'm not mistaken, Sequoia goes 4-0. Jackson Greco blows up.
Yes.
He's at Mercer.
Yeah.
Went from not having an offer to being at Mercer.
Vital. It is.
Now, if you go to that site, you'll see they already got the hotels and everything lined up for you for where you can stay, the price for it, and everything.
I think I don't want to. We talked about accountability early on the show, so I don't want to dodge or skirt accountability in any way, because can you imagine what would be how the AAU coach would be looked at if the biggest event for the year and your team is not in it because you didn't register in time? If I didn't register for Sean's live period event in time, how would my parents look at me?
That's a real question. I mean,
and so I don't want to make excuses for that. But I do feel like we have an opportunity to build bridges. And we talked about this. Me and Locke went back and forth about, the Metro Atlanta versus Middle Georgia and South Georgia and how it should be one Georgia. We have an opportunity to really wrap our arms around some of these teams, especially state champions and people who make Final Four runs, Elite Eight runs, to, maybe send out reminder notices or something to say, listen, you need to get this done, right?
Mm-hmm.
And or through the coaches associations. Like I'm not sure. I know that there's an email that goes out. I'm just not sure how many times put in their face to say, take care of your business, right?
I don't know how many times it was, but I will say there are guys that's on that committee that did reach out to some people. And some people still didn't get it done or chose not to for whatever reason. I do know that. And we had that same issue when, in 2019, where you were trying to get more representation from around the state. And some people chose. It's unfortunate that you get to it where some people chose, well, we're not going to play in it until it all comes out. And you're like, oh, this looks bad if we don't play in it. Now we're going to say, well, we need to play in it. Well, you don't just, you can't change everything in.
And I'm just trying to figure out how do we solve a problem, because I feel like this is a reoccurring theme, right, in the state that we need to fix, because this was the same thing about the shot clock. We had been talking about the shot clock on this show for 2 full years before that vote actually took place. And people were up in arms saying that they had never heard that this was happening. We have a communication gap somewhere that I would like to see fixed, because
it's got to be where you're more connected. Like, you can't just go coach your team and go home. Like, I'm gonna just be honest, you can't do that as a high school coach. Not in the state of Georgia, you can't. Like, it's not possible. You've got to be involved, whether it's in there are about 3 organizations you can be involved in. You can be involved in DBCA, which is now taking the lead of this Georgia high school team camp. You can be involved in the MCA of Georgia, Minority Coaches Association of Georgia, or you could be involved in the Atlanta Tip-Off Club. Like, those are 3 organizations right there that can get you involved and informed of what's going on basketball-wise.
As a parent, right, and I'm just flashing comments up, as a parent, how should a parent feel about their coach if their coach doesn't belong to any of those organizations?
My bad, Locke.
I don't think they should feel some type of way, because a lot of times parents don't know about those organizations.
Yeah, you're right about that. But they'll know about it when their kid doesn't get recognized, though.
Well, we have parents. We're here to help inform parents and players, right? The parents that are watching our show now know.
And I left one organization. I forgot the GACA. Like, so that's 4 right there. And Bryce has been a high school coach, so he knows, like, if you're not involved or knowing, your kid can get left out. So now you're talking about your whole team can get left out.
Let me ask you this, Huff, because I'm just keeping the book. A lot of times, the teams in the metro area, they don't never get left out. It's always teams outside the metro area.
True.
Because I look at Peachtree Ridge, they just got a coach, and they're in the event. They just got a coach last week.
I think part of it happens is because the previous coach probably did the legwork for that school, not thinking he was going to be gone. And I think there has to be more transparency and communication outside the metro Atlanta area. Like, well, who do you have that contacts anybody that's in Valdosta or the Savannah area? We've got Lenny. Lenny Williams. We all know Lenny, but who else do you know down there? Like, that you can contact and make sure those guys or even want to be involved. And I think that's where it has to start, man. To somehow get everybody on the same accord. To have a database, which I think that's what they did this year, which made the communication better. Because I think they have more teams involved this year than they did 2 years ago.
No, they definitely do. Yeah.
Getting that database of coaches and with telephone numbers, their cell numbers and their email addresses, school and personal email addresses, because that's big too. Like, you'll find out these school email addresses sometimes when you send stuff to them can get blocked.
Yeah. Hey, another thing I always think about, I feel like maybe sometimes the schools out in the metro area are scared to display their players up here in Atlanta because now they feel like those players are going to get snatched up and transfer.
That's
kind of like college basketball though. They tweeted that out earlier that a lot of the mid-major and low majors don't want to play the majors.
Yeah, I think that's baloney because some of these mid majors need those games for budget.
Yeah,
I'll take it. You don't want to play, I'll take it.
Yeah, you need that game for their budget.
You need that game. You need that game to recruit as well to say, yeah, we played Wake Forest last year. We played, you know what I mean? Like, you still want to play some teams.
That has to be better. I remember at Duluth going down to Tift County's tournament. You know, I remember when I was at St. Francis, going to Kervin Davis's tournament when he, at Colquitt County. So you got to step outside your comfort zone, man, and go places and play different teams. I just think that's what basketball is about to me. I mean,
what high schools will you be watching in session 1?
I've got to really sit down and look at it. I mean, make sure who's playing in one. That's what me and James and Coach O got to sit down tomorrow and next week after Memorial Day. Who we're locked in on, who we really need to see, because and it may be just me there. Like James may be at the one in South Carolina, or I may be the one in South Carolina, and James is here. Like, you got to realize it's only 3 of us on staff. Like, we're spread pretty thin to try to go to, if we're gonna go to 3 different events or 2 different events that and then if it's only one person at that event, you probably only be able to catch one game at that hour, and then who you gonna catch the next hour, So you got to try to see. Okay, let's say Bryce, you used to be at Westlake or Creekside. Well, if I wanted to see you play, I got to figure out when do I want to see Bryce play? When can I catch him? And it would be helpful if I'm catching him versus another team I need to see. So now I can, I can see both teams instead of just seeing one team. And so that's another part of this thing, like them putting the matchups together to make sure those are good matchups. And I think even year 1, I think that was really the benefit of everything. Like, I mean, I remember some of those matchups. They were great matchups that took place on the court.
It definitely was. It definitely was. I remember when you played.
What's going to help this year is being at Lake Point. I know it's further away, but having everybody under the same roof is really going to help that event.
That's going
to be very beneficial.
Yeah, to turn and catch a view of multiple courts and kind of see what's going on.
Maybe you stand in between the court and see both of them.
What, Coach? What can you tell us about the JUCO event that's happening in Alabama? I thought that was interesting.
Man, they've got some killer. I mean, I just got an email today that put all the teams in it, and like. I mean,
JUCO teams coming to play and be evaluated in this event, right?
Yes.
How does that happen when those guys don't have a full roster yet, or do they?
So the coaches are taking, because I called some JUCO coaches to ask them, whoever they have, they're gonna play with.
They're taking. I know. I talked to East George. I talked to Gary. He bringing 10 guys.
Yeah, I've got guys that's taking only their 8 guys they got right now. That's who they're gonna play with.
And which one of this event is it? The edit we were talking about the other day.
It's the Montgomery. It's going to be at Faulkner University.
When is it again?
It's the second weekend. What's that, the 25th through the 27th? I mean, that, and I think they have another one that's either in Florida or somewhere else. So you got to realize, like, college coaches is going to be at those 2 JUCO events now.
Mm-hmm. Who going to be there?
College coaches going to be at those. They're going to be a coach.
Yes, sir. Medlock's going to be there, too.
Let me ask you this. Coaches, players that have committed in the spring to go to the junior college, they'll be playing in that event.
Some of them.
If they're already taking classes, yes. If they sign up for summer semester, then they probably can play.
Gotcha.
So it's going to be, college coaches are ready to get back on the road. Now, the one thing that we have to talk about is budgets are a little bit different. So, like, at a D1 staff, you got the head coach and 3 assistants. All 4 of them may not be out that weekend. They may leave somebody at home due to budgetary reasons and the COVID stuff, whatever. But you're still going to have – the coaches are ready to get out to see these guys, especially at the D1 level. They haven't been able to see your group, Dre or Bryce, live in person. They've been calling, texting you, but they haven't been able to see you live. They tired of watching it on film. So – and then there are going to be a lot of new players that's really going to catch some people's eyes. That's the real thing. Who is going to be there?
Or recruits will play. Recruits.
And Daryl is a JUCO coach, so there you go.
New players or recruits We need to talk, Daryl. Hit my DM, bro, so we can exchange numbers. I need to talk about that. That's interesting.
He got some kids for you.
For sure.
That's right, James. JUCO All-American has an event in July during the live period in
Isn't that their big one? The JUCO and Stone Mountain? That's their big event in July.
Yeah. That should be jumping.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what these players got to understand, man. Like, this is a tough time for high school players. I'm just going to keep it real. It's a tough time because college coaches, especially at the Division I level, want to get older and stay older. And they only do that by getting transfers and JUCO guys. And so that high school player, and they're concerned if this player comes in and is as good as we think he is at the high school level, will he now be in the transfer portal after a year? But if you take that transfer or that JUCO guy, he doesn't have as many options to go back in that transfer portal.
Mm-hmm.
So now you got college coaches saying, for instance, if I'm Georgia State or Kennesaw, do I recruit this Atlanta kid hoping that because he's from Atlanta, he wants to stay close to home so he doesn't go in the transfer portal? But if I go recruit this kid from Texas and he decides to transfer, he wants to go closer to home, I'm going to lose him. Just look at Georgia Tech's roster. They have recruited all these transfers who are from Georgia.
Yeah.
Started with James Banks, Davion Smith, Jordan Usher, Kyle Sturtevant. Who else? Bubba Parnham. Like, that's how they built it.
Yeah. True. Yeah, Auburn did the same thing.
Yeah. Because Auburn's not that far from Georgia. I mean, what, an hour and 15 maybe?
Hour and 15, yeah.
Florida looking real Atlanta-ish too.
Oh, I told Larry Dixon, he may get mad. I said, now we just got to call y'all Atlanta, Georgia South or something, man.
Hey, the Atlanta Bulls. The Atlanta Bulls.
That's what they looking like.
The Georgia Bulls.
That is it's interesting. Hey, how has Mercer, in your opinion, Coach, been able to be so successful without all the movement? It seems like they've been able to go get kids and keep kids and like quietly be the best team in the state.
They
possible.
they recruited kids that probably weren't on some other people's radar, that they had relationships with people on their staff, and they got some older kids. So, there are different ways to get it done and win. You just got to figure out what's your way. That's why I've told you, Dre, you got to have a vision on what you're trying to build and what you're trying to recruit to. And it might not be my vision and Locke's vision may be different, but we both can win, And so you're seeing teams build it different ways. And, what's interesting right now, and I've told a couple of JUCO coaches this, is that in the next 2 years, we see a lot of JUCO coaches get their opportunity to be Division I coaches because they're used to the turnover every year. There are guys that know I'm going to have a new team every year. So we're going to get, JUCO coaches that become Division I coaches. That's the next wave to me, especially if it's at the low major level. Like, why wouldn't a low major AD say, if I'm going to have this turnover, then why not hire Corey Baldwin? Why not hire Travis Garrett? Why not hire Rico Dawson? Because they've done this before.
Know how to deal with it for sure. Yep. What and before we close and while we have you, what advice would you give to parents during live period? I don't think they understand how often they're going to be surrounded by a college coach, whether that coach has on his polo or not. What advice would you give to them in that situation?
Understand their son is being evaluated by everything, which includes them. So that comment, what is coach doing? He don't know what he's doing, could cost your son an offer. Shoot the ball every time you touch it.
Shoot it.
Yeah, shoot the ball every time you touch it could cost your son an offer. Because the way these college coaches, the way we are scared of losing kids in the transfer portal, if that's what we're going to get, then we're going to be afraid that once we get you, that you're going to be saying the same thing. And we know how tough it is for freshmen to get major minutes when they get there. You're going to be saying the same thing about us, and he's going to be in the transfer portal, no matter what. And so parents tell your players, like, just like James said, tell them about body language. Tell your son about body language. Like, be a team player, man. Play to win the game. Yes, AAU is all about exposure. It's about individual exposure. But scoring is just not the only way you can get exposure. It's not. Do you play the game the right way? Like, I remember at Georgia Southern, we took a kid, Mike Hughes, who played for Team Charlotte, and he was like the 8th, 9th guy on the bench. But he was a starter as a freshman coming right out the gate. But we could see what we wanted to see. So, but I will say this. Stop believing the hype and believing you got to play for a shoe team and being the 10th man, 11th, 12th guy on the shoe team and don't get in the game and expecting a scholarship. It ain't going to work like that. You have to play to be seen. You can pay me later, Bryce.
Hey, don't worry, because when I run through Georgia Man up, I'm like, hey, you can wear a Kane shirt too, my guy.
I love it. I love it. Hey, Huff, let me ask this. As you're evaluating a kid, does it matter to you whether he starts for his AAU team or not?
No, because you got to look at it. There could be a guy who's the man on his high school team and plays with some really good dudes in AAU and is a 6th, 7th guy. Like, I remember listening to a conversation, I forgot what podcast, and they talked about Shelvin Mack. Shelvin Mack, who played for the Hawks, played with Utah. On his AAU team, he was just a distributor. Like, pass the ball, pass the ball, pass the ball. But you go watch him on his high school team, and he was scoring 27 a game. So you got to know like what you're looking for, and you got to know, going back to y'all talking about earlier in this podcast about how do you see the kid. So you got to see him in both aspects. Like, I got to see him in what is he going to be like in high school if I haven't seen him before. What is he like in his AAU team? Because they could be totally different.
So it doesn't matter to you how many points he ends up with.
I mean, if the kid can score that thing, now that does matter. But is he going to score 30 and give up 30? I mean, that ain't really helping me right there.
Hey, they 30 for 30. 30 for 30.
Dr. Love got 200 on Georgia Man up. He must be a booster.
He's a booster.
He must got it. Hey, let me tell you something though about y'all bets. They really be betting on kids though. Like I'm not gonna say no names.
Hey, William Maddox, I'm gonna tell you something. You're gonna lose by 20. You're losing. Hey. I've been quiet, but
hey, I don't know.
Let's not get disrespectful.
Yeah, that's disrespectful.
You gotta relax.
You gotta relax. By 20 plus.
Lord, I just been listening today, boy. Like, man,
hey, that's how I've been doing. Listening, sipping.
Hold on, I gotta take a picture of this. Hold up, it's crazy.
You gotta relax.
Hey, but I can't get out of here. I can't get out of here because y'all know. I tried to ask Dre this the other night. He had like he didn't want to answer my question. Y'all remember way back in the day we were on the show, and this man told me Trae Young was trash. I just want to go back. I want to go back to that. I just want to go back to that.
Hey, hold on. Remember when Bryce said about Westbrook going to Washington? And he didn't like the idea.
That's cap, bro. That's cap.
There ain't no cap. I got two guys right here. Agree.
Because I said, dude is coming off an ACL and an Achilles.
No, bro.
That's cap. I was in favor of that trade.
What was the better trade? John Wall going to Houston.
What I said was I wouldn't necessarily have made that trade because John Wall had been there for so long. But it's Westbrook. Oh, you capping.
I know you a Newt and a Morehouse dude, but it's okay to be wrong.
Bro, I'm not wrong though.
Bryce, we all heard what you said, Bryce.
What I say?
Bryce, it's okay to be wrong.
What I say?
You didn't like that trade though, Bryce. You didn't
like it. You hated it. You hated it.
I need to hear it. I need to hear it.
You hated it, bro.
Now I am gonna say that Huff is saucing up this Trae Young thing a little bit. Put some extra sauce on it. What I questioned, and I'm still waiting to see, is can you
Thank you, Dr. Love. Dr. Love, see?
Yeah, I'm still waiting to see. Can you win? If he wins in the playoffs, I'm wrong.
He's in his third year, Dre. He's in the playoffs.
Dre, he pretty good, Dre.
Hey, here's what I'm gonna say. Do you see how? Never mind. I'm not gonna say that. I want to see if they win. If they win, I'm wrong. He looks great.
I don't know if they're gonna win though.
But here's my thing, and please, nobody say, "Oh, Coach Huff was saying that this is," but you don't say that when you talk about Colin Sexton. They ain't won.
No, I did.
I ain't heard you say that.
No, so
you got a point there. You got a point.
No, here was my thing, right? My question about Trae Young was, can you win playing that way? And what I said was also is that I questioned even Steph Curry without Klay Thompson, Draymond. Like, the team has to be constructed a certain way for you to win playing that way. I question whether or not they could win playing that way.
And so here's what I'll say. If you haven't noticed, I'll give you that. Last year, Trae was jacking up a lot of shots. Yeah, he averaged almost 30, but the team wasn't as good.
Not playing defense either.
Right. And he's still not going to be the best defensive player, just like Steph's not the best defensive player. So we're not going to – it is what it is.
But you got to give me an effort.
Yes. And Nathan McMillan has got the effort out of him.
Yep.
They're still going to try to find the worst offensive player and put him on him, but
but he looks great.
Right. But what he's done is, if you've noticed, there are not so many of those 30-foot jump shots.
That's true.
He's making the right. So instead of averaging 29 point whatever, it's 25, and you're second in the league in assists.
You can win doing that.
And you've got better players around you. And now, I mean, even though they're the 5th seed, they had the same record as the Knicks.
So that was my big critique, right? Like, can you win launching 30-foot, 35-foot shots? Like,
consistently, no.
The way that he was playing. But he looks great. He looks great.
And y'all do understand if the Clippers don't win this series, that team is getting blown up, right?
Yeah.
Kawhi need to go somewhere.
Before we get off the show, I seen OST was doing this, and I want to get you guys' thoughts. So you brought up Colin Sexton. When you say Southern Stampede, what player you think about?
Colin.
Southern Stampede. Yeah, Colin.
Game Elite.
Jaylen Brown.
Jaylen Brown. Atlanta Express.
Anthony Edwards.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say MJ Walker.
I'll say MJ Walker too.
I'm gonna say Ant-Man.
I think Express has so many dudes. Though.
I'm gonna say MJ.
I respect MJ, but Ant-Man.
Yeah, it's probably Ant-Man.
The tough one is when you start talking about the Stars and the Celtics.
That's tough. That's tough. But I'm gonna say Davion Mitchell
for the Stars.
I'm sorry, guys. I still think about Kyra Lewis whenever I think about the Georgia Stars. That's the first player that pops into my head.
Bryce, who did you say, Bryce?
Lou Williams.
I know, man. I
didn't see that.
I never saw that. I never saw him.
I didn't see that. I'm going by what I saw.
So
I saw Lou Williams for South Gwinnett. I never saw him play a.
So when you think about the Celtics, who do you think of? Atlanta Celtics.
Me personally, Jermaine Jones.
Josh Smith.
See, I think about Dwight Howard before I think about Josh Smith.
Yeah,
I put Dwight Howard on my tweet just because I felt like it was disrespectful. But the first person that pops into my head when I think about the Celtics is Josh Smith.
Actually, I'm gonna tell you something. It's not just Josh. It's actually that trio: Randolph Morris, Josh Smith, Dwight Howard, and put Javaris Crimson on there because those four were all on that same team.
Javaris Crimson is my favorite player from that team.
I don't know. He might be, Bryce. I don't know.
Yeah, I think he's still.
Okay. Stackhouse Elite.
Stackhouse Elite. Stackhouse Elite?
I got Brandon Ingram.
Stackhouse Elite.
Jalen Benjamin.
Terrell Ard Jr. Before he
played with him?
Yeah. Until he blew up, he had to get out of it. Out of that deal. Had to get him out of that deal. I don't know nobody on Stackhouse Elite. Jalen Benjamin, yeah, Jalen Benjamin.
No, shit, man. Brandon Ingram was a motherfucker.
Brandon played Stackhouse Elite? Oh, yeah, he did.
Hey, who's the first person you think about when the Georgia Canes?
I think of Marcus Foster.
Hey, you know what's crazy? Hey, you know what's crazy? I've been waiting for the OST dude the last 2 days to drop our logo and tweet it like, so who y'all think about when y'all think about Georgia? Hey, he ain't gonna do that. I might do it for him though.
Actually, for Canes, I think of Marcus Foster. I think because Bryce, I think that was when it all started. Like,
yeah. Marcus Foster.
And when it started, I'm gonna tell you the player that started it. If you talk about the Georgia Canes and you ain't talking about Tay-Tay, we ain't talking about that.
That's before their time. That's before their time. They don't know Tay-Tay. They don't know Tay-Tay. They don't know Tay-Tay. All right.
He put him on the map, but he put him on the map more than any of these other kids.
Tay-Tay put it on the map, boy.
He did at an early age. All right. How about infinite skills?
Your boy from Greensboro, UNCG.
Isaiah Miller.
Isaiah Miller. Yeah. You ought to start doing it when you talk about high schools, though.
Yeah. Okay, we can pop it off. We got a few minutes.
Hey,
so I got one. I said Aminu.
See, I think of Jordan Meeks.
Jody Meeks.
Yeah, that's what I think about too. Of Jody Meeks. BJ Boston's still my favorite player.
Oh, that's a good one. Smyrna Stars.
Shit, that's a tough one.
That is a tough one.
Caleb Murphy. I'm sorry.
No.
I'm sorry. Caleb Murphy.
No.
Hey, my bad, Bryce.
What's the kid name that with the Georgia State?
Kane.
Veterans, huh?
Oh, nah, never mind. Oh, yeah.
Josh Linder.
Josh Linder had it.
Josh Linder made his career in AAU because he did that.
He did. And with the Smyrna Stars.
Yeah, because he did that veteran.
Wheeler High School.
Man.
JB.
Sharif.
JB or Sharif, yeah. Westlake.
Chuma.
No. AJ was it AJ Moye?
AJ Moye, yeah. Indiana.
Yeah, for me it's Chuma.
For me, it's Chuma though. Honestly.
He still don't get enough credit for how cold he was in high school. He don't.
Yeah, man. Cold, bro. Cold. He's one of the best players I've ever seen in person.
Birthmark.
Tony Akins.
Tony, I got Tony. Okay, I got a good one. I got a real good one.
Chuma got 2 schools.
hey, South Cobb.
JD Diamond.
Zacco. I got Zacco. Okay. Oh, he said Oak Hill Academy. Mello.
Yeah.
Mello.
Oh.
I will say Rondo did come to mind though.
Man. Okay, what's that? Everybody. That's so hard.
I got Mello.
Man,
Okay. McKeitry.
Sharif.
Yeah. Even though there were some guys before them, but
There's a lot of guys.
Yeah.
Hey, you want to talk about being wrong? I want to come out here and talk about being wrong. Totally wrong on Sharif in college.
Remember I said
totally wrong.
No, you probably was on the show. I said Sharif is going to have the biggest bag when he gets to college.
You did.
He did say that.
I didn't think that the Sharif that we saw in college was going to happen until later in his sophomore year. Sophomore year, going into his junior year, that's when I thought we were going to see that. I could not be more wrong. He was incredible from day one. I did not think that was going to happen.
All right, Dre, when you think of Louisville, who you think of?
DeJuan Wheat.
No.
The greatest Louisville player of all time.
Seaver. Is that boy name? The guard?
Yeah, I'll think about Seaver. I'll think about Seaver as well.
Do your Googles.
Kentucky, who you think of?
John Wall.
Kentucky?
I hate
John Wall.
Rex Chapman is probably Rex Chapman, one of the best basketball players I've ever seen.
Jamal Mashburn.
With my own two eyes, Rex Chapman, one of the best players I've ever seen.
Georgia Tech.
Kenny Anderson.
Stephon Marbury.
Jared Jack.
Jared Jack.
Georgia.
Dominique. But I know that's so far, so I'll take it. Who are the Jonas and Jarvis Hayes, to be honest with you.
I got the guard, the left-handed guard.
I can't remember his name, and that's crazy. The first is Tubby Smith's son was the first person that popped in my head.
Gigi or Saul? Which one was it?
Gigi. Gigi was the older one, right?
Yeah, my Francisco Garcia.
That's the one that popped into my head. Gigi, the older one. Yeah,
I got the guard, the light-skinned guard, the lefty. They played at a GISA school.
Francisco Garcia. That's a throwback.
Oh, JJ Frazier. That's what you talking about.
JJ Frazier.
Hey, Whitfield Academy.
Whitfield Academy.
Isaiah.
It's Isaiah for me.
Isaiah Hart.
Yes.
Isaiah Hart.
Listen.
I seen him last night.
Tequila Cotton.
Hey, I remember Isaiah Hart playing in the TLC.
Dropping 40.
Yes! Oh my God! He was going crazy.
He was going crazy.
Crazy.
I seen him play last night. He still got it.
He's still looking for a home lot.
Man, dude, I don't know. I'm gonna ask. I went down to Brad Open Run last night on the south side. He had some kids. In there. Kennesaw State.
Kelvin.
Spencer Dixon.
Who
were babies?
I think you know who I think of. I think of Horace son.
Hey, Bryce, stupid, bro.
Actually, I take that back. I think of the coach, Tony Ingle.
I think of somebody for all the wrong reasons.
All right, Georgia State.
That's tough right there. Ryan Harrell.
I got
your son, the coach's son, to knock down the shot. Yeah.
I'm thinking about what's the kid that played for Heat Check, light skin.
Oh yeah.
Guard.
Demarcus
Simons. Oh
yeah, he was tough.
Shit. Hup. St. Francis.
That's tough, man.
Hey,
Francis.
I plead the fifth.
Hey, it's gotta be Kobe. It's gotta be Kobe.
I mean, I think
apology.
What'd you say?
Who wrote that public apology?
For Malik?
Yes.
You
realized that?
No, I did not.
Yes.
It probably is Kobe.
Keith Bogans. Yes. The matter. Yes.
Oh, when y'all think of Florida State, who y'all think of?
Florida State.
See why?
Charlie Ward.
I think of Charlie Ward too. Like.
Isaiah Swan. Y'all ain't know who that is. Look at you.
Nah. When you think of Florida, who you think of?
Noah.
Joakim Noah.
What's old boy? Teddy Dupay. When I think of Florida, I think of Teddy.
You went back, Dre.
Hey, you ain't seen fun college basketball till you watch Teddy Dupay play. That shit was fun.
All right, North Carolina.
Ooh.
Man.
I mean, that's
Wallace, Vince Carter,
Jerry Stackhouse,
Jerry, Ed Coach.
Hey, y'all gonna laugh. I'm gonna say Rashard McKinnis.
That was good in North Carolina.
He was good in North Carolina.
That was fun. Did y'all get a chance to watch the Rashad Phillips interview with Isaiah Thomas?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, I gotta toss that out there for everybody that's listening, man. On Tubi, it's on the Tubi app. It's free. I believe you can watch it from your laptop, your phone, from your TV. It's in the App Store. He got an interview with Isaiah Thomas, and Isaiah Thomas really talking that shit. Like he dropping gems in that interview. I didn't mean to derail the conversation for that, but naming all of these players got me thinking of guards that really inspired me and made me want to play basketball. And Isaiah Thomas was the person that made me want to play the game of basketball. And then the rest of these guys kind of filled in after that. The Charlie Wards, the Teddy Dupays, all of that stuff made basketball fun for me. That interview was really dope. And I've got a list of more interviews that I think he should do. For people who, to me, got blackballed, Isaiah Thomas does not. I don't think we can give him enough flowers.
I would agree on that. He was good, man. Really good. Really, really good.
And I think Mahmoud, Raul Mahmoud is another person that he should interview who doesn't get enough flowers because one of the best guards I've ever seen in my life.
So that's what you think about when you say LSU?
Yes.
Actually, I do too. More than Shaq.
Way more. Yeah, for sure. He was the one you was, I mean, man, you were scared. Like, you had to be afraid of him.
It's sad they never really won the way they should have.
True. True. One of the best basketball players I've ever seen. Like, one of the best shot makers I've ever seen.
When you think of Milton, who do you think of?
Bruce
Gordon.
I'm not gonna even count. I'm gonna think of the one hand kid. The kid that had the one arm that went to Florida. Pebblebrook.
Colin.
Colin.
I'm gonna say Jared.
Come on, bro.
Bro, Jared took his team to the state. Jared played in the state championship.
Colin is the most popular player though from the school.
Oh, true. But you got to think. When you say Pebblebrook, you are thinking Colin because the entertainment. But Jared,
nah, Jared nice. He like that.
As a young player too, he was good.
Jared was never not good in Georgia.
I'm trying to. Okay,
Bryce, I don't ever remember a time where Jared Harper wasn't great.
Bro. I seen him in middle school, and he was doing what he was doing in high school and middle school.
How about Grayson?
Shit, Caleb Murphy or something.
When I think of Grayson, I think of the what's the guard name that went to East Jackson with Drew Jennings? Travis Anderson.
I do.
I got a question for y'all. What's the best college basketball team y'all ever seen play?
I saw that.
Or maybe top three, like the top
like
three
live,
teams.
like live.
Live or yeah.
Live on TV. Like
what's the Kentucky team with Anthony Davis is probably one of the best teams I've ever seen.
UNLV with Stacey Allman, Larry Johnson,
yes,
Greg Anthony,
yes,
Anderson Hunt,
yes.
I would also say UConn during the Ray Allen era they were pretty damn good too during those time periods.
What year?
I'm gonna laugh, but when Candace Parker was at Tennessee, I forgot what
Tennessee women had some great teams.
That's a great team.
I enjoyed watching them a lot.
What year was the Todd Day years at Arkansas?
Was that 89, 90? Or was it later than that?
Yeah, I was just born.
Right.
Was that 89? Was that before the UNLV or after?
Might have been right after. Might have been 92.
I thought it was right after. Yeah. That one of the best teams, yeah.
That Florida team was pretty good with Joe Kim. They were really good.
They were really good.
I'm this gonna end the show. Which club got the best strippers?
Hey, I got you, bro. Hold on. I got you. Wait. I got you, bro. y'all gonna get my guy in trouble, man. You can't do Huff like that.
It was just a question.
You can't do Huff like that, man.
I know.
Huff coaches at a Christian university. You can't do my guy like that.
It's going to end the show. I didn't say y'all had to answer. I said it's going to end.
Good night, everyone. We appreciate y'all hanging out with us. That's our show. Lock will publish the list. Y'all can talk about it in the chat. We're not answering that question, man.
This is in Florida. I've never been there.
That's our show for the night, man. We love you guys. We'll see you guys next week. I can't believe Lock asked